Now, in this video, we are going to see what will happen to Australian dollar versus Canadian dollar. And again, this is a trading without indicators. I'm gonna show you now. I have already sold the market, so I believe the market will fall down more and it's going short, and I will show you why I took this decision. The common mistake of many young traders, unexperienced traders, is they just use a lot of indicators like this. Look at this, a lot of beautiful indicators, and of course each of them has a sense, but the majority doesn't know how to use them and when to use them. You can't use them always. So the next question is, what will you do? How will you trade if you have no indicator? And the most important question is, when will you have movement in the market? So how can you time the market at its best? The first step is, if you look at this chart, okay, in this short video, I'm going now to prove why a lot of traders are losing, especially if they are scalpers or day traders, but not understand or have not understood the concept of trend following. If I would be a day trader or scalper, I would trade always with the trend and not against the trend. But okay, that's my opinion, therefore I'm still well there. But there are 99.99% of the traders and more retail traders who have been reading this book or that book, who are convinced of making day trading because they have been joining many courses on the internet and social media scam, and they believe to them. All right, the money is taking your money away, and I'm going now to prove that. So we begin here at the beginning of this year. Now we go a little bit. He's stupid because I have many reasons here, many red reasons. Look, only a stupid trader would produce these losses in the shortest time. And if you are not making money in this fantastic trend, the market is telling you, I'm going down, bro, and you are going down, then this person must be stupid. I'm not saying I'm sorry. I honestly, strongly am convinced that this type of people are strongly stupid, right? But if this trader says now, okay, I have making mistakes, now I'm going to correct and going with the trend, and look, his position is all the time making profit. He's not going to tell me thank you. I'm not expecting that. I don't care if you tell me thank you or not thank you. You're not going to pay me. But I'm going to talk about the reality, guys. So you can share, like, hit the notification.
I'm really a firm believer that you know, hindsight's 20/20 right through the asshole, and I don't really want to look back too far or look ahead too far. I'm trading for the moment. I'm trading for the moment. I want to be the moment. I want to be a part of the moment. Future, past.
Sub 473. Sub 407. Off the offer. Off deck offer. Bidex. 53 for 200X.
Communists arrived. Wong's skills are not so much a product of education as of thousands of years of Chinese trading tradition. It's 7:45. Today there are no big news stories from Europe and America to help him decide which way the pound will go. He'll have to rely on his instinct. This morning, William's late. The pound is already rising. He must decide within minutes whether to jump on the bandwagon and buy some pounds in the hope that they'll go on going up.
Morning.
128 now. Pay 15 from Australia. I need the offer.
Oh my God.
Surrounded by electronic gadgetry, William is taking the pulse of a market which at this time of day stretches from Singapore to Tokyo. William works for the American Chemical Bank, one of the largest banks in the world. Chemical is expanding fast in the currency market. Its dealers take huge risks, but they're well rewarded. William's salary starts at £25,000, but with his colleagues on the currency dealing desk, he shares 3% of their profits. It's a hefty commission, which can double his salary if he gets it right. If he gets it wrong, William Wong faces the sack. William's in charge of trading the pound against the dollar. It's just 8:05. The pound is still rising, and William's being forced to make a decision.
Oh my God.
He buys his first £3 million with Chemicals dollars, gambling that the pound will go on up. Now that he's made his decision, he'd like to buy more.
Charge of cable for Australia.
30-40.
This 24-year-old can gamble £20 million of his bank's money without asking anyone.
I think the sterling will go higher. And, well, I think the market still looking level to buy sterling. So I'm looking to buy sterling too. So that's why I'm paying 30 in the brokers and we see what's going on. If no.
In London, New York and Hong Kong, as three men gambled on which way the dollar would turn.
Sitting here every day, when things go badly, if you can't keep your cool at that time, you've got no chance, to be perfectly honest.
And lead the market.
It's 8 o'clock in the morning in London, and the world is quiet. No coups, no assassinations, no new crises to rock the currency markets. Now Richard's boss, Chris Pavlou, has arrived.
I fancy a big one sandwich, don't you? Come on, man. You a big one sandwich? I'll have a decent cup of coffee. Okay? Yeah. I'll have a decent cup of coffee. Are you going to organise it then?
Chris Pavlou used to be one of the world's biggest sterling dealers, but now, pushing 40, he knows he's too old for the game that he loves.
There's nobody on that desk. It's over 35. People start in their early 20s for about 10 years, and by the time they reach their very early 30s, they had about enough. As you can see now, the market is having a small breather, but the dealers cannot afford to lose their concentration for 1 minute. They started at 7 o'clock this morning, and they're going to be here at 5 o'clock. And the market, whether it's quiet or busy, they've got to keep their adrenaline going. They've got to make sure the concentration is there, just in case the market decides to erupt.
Now, with Richard's opening gambit over, and even bigger players entering the market, trying to buy £20 million with its Deutschmarks. Perhaps it needs these millions to buy a lot of British goods, but more likely the Russian, otherwise known as Boris, in reality the Bank of Foreign Trade Moscow, is speculating that the pound will rise. Richard calls Moscow direct to find out what's going on, prefacing his message with the customary, "Hi, friends." They could easily be bluffing him. They could be buying a little to push the price up before selling a lot.
This might be the right time. John, I think the Russians buying sterling marks elsewhere now.
But Richard guesses that they must be buying from other banks too, in a big operation, as the pound begins to rise.
Thanks. Hear that? We Richard thinks Boris is buying sterling marks elsewhere.
So he decides to risk jumping on their bandwagon, using the other traders to ring out and get prices so they can hit the market with tens of millions as quickly as possible.
50-55. We're going to go and buy a bit of sterling. Looks like everybody in the market might be a bit short of sterling. It doesn't want to go down. 58.63. Take 5.
His first £5 million, and with each wave, he buys another £5 million.
Quickly, it's going to go up in a second.
58.68.
A grimace as the price rises.
57.64.
Take 5.
57.64.
Take 5.
What positions am I running for people? 58.63.
Take 5.
58.65.
Take 5. That'll do. That'll do.
He's bought £35 million.
77.82, Richard.
The market is short. Who's not Citibank?
Richard and the Russians between them have helped the pound up ½ a cent. But now taking the profit proves irresistible, so Richard starts selling.
If you're looking for an offer, you've got it.
Well, you're looking for an offer, you're going to sell him at 80, 85. How many years? 20 points profit.
Anyway, between 80 and 90, I want to sell.
Sorry.
1995.
Yours. Yes.
87.97.
A brief speculative bubble has burst, but Richard has won again.
So, as you saw, we bought £35 million, so we went up 30 points. We decided to take our profit.
So how much money did you make on that little bubble?
I don't know, to be honest. £75,000.
How much?
About £75,000.
And that took you about half a minute. The price just
Took
gone
about
up.
3 minutes. 80.85.
He's the best in the world because he has learned his trade the hard way. He started getting the sandwiches when he was in his early 20s, and he was kicked about by the other dealers, and he has no ego whatsoever. If he's wrong, he knows he's wrong, he will cut out, and he will say, I had enough, I'm not going to beat the market, and he's...
An enormous problem that I see over and over again amongst people who are learning to trade is that after they have learned the basics, and then once they have maybe a basic understanding of their trading plan, they move straight on to trading. And what they do is they push training to one side. So they no longer train at all, and they simply try to execute their trading plan over and over and over again. This is a fundamental problem. If you are looking to become a consistent trader, and no matter how long you have been trading for, you should always be training. It is very, very important. Now, what I'm going to do over the next 3 weeks is on each video, each week, I am going to cover one of what I consider the absolute fundamental areas where you should be continually training. And then I'll give you some very simple, very easy to use examples of what you can do to train in these core areas. So if we look at it, 2 states, I like to think of it like we are split personality traders. Now the first state, and we can call this the correct state, is the one where we are making good, rational decisions. The second state is the one that we tend to be in when we crash and burn. Now in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at both of these states and explain what is going on, and then we're going to look at simple ways to help make sure that you stay in the correct state when you are trading. Now, when we are in the first state, this is when we tend to feel calm. We're making rational decisions. We're thinking critically. The frontal area of the brain is more active. Now, this tends to be the state that we want to be in most of modern society. However, the second state is when we start to become more emotional. So if you think about emotional trading, and what happens here is just behind the frontal area of the brain is the limbic system. Now, when this activates, it tends to be because we sense some sort of danger. Most retail traders fail to become consistently profitable, and you have no idea how long it's going to take you to become a consistently profitable trader. So there's lots to deal with. However,
there is also then external factors whilst you are learning how to trade. So what am I talking about when I say external factors? These are things like friends, family, and work colleagues. I got an email at the end of last week, it was on Thursday or Friday, and this guy had a relatively similar experience to what I had when I was first learning how to trade. So not long after I had discovered trading, I sort of stumbled across the financial markets, CFDs, and spread betting. I was out with my two best friends and we were in a bar. Conversation turned toward trading. And I said I was learning how to trade, I was really interested, I found it exciting, and my overall goal, my ambition was that one day I would be able to trade full time. What do you think the reaction was from my two best friends? Were they encouraging? Were they interested? Were they excited because they could see how enthusiastic I was? No. Almost before I had even finished speaking, one of my friends started laughing and he said, "What the hell are you doing? You're an idiot. You're never going to be a trader. You're going to lose all of your money." So not exactly the reaction I was looking for or expecting. However, it's very, very common, unfortunately, and not just in trading. When you're learning to do anything new, if they consider it difficult, if you're starting a new business or you're starting to learn how to trade, whatever it is, if they consider it difficult, very often that's the kind of reaction you are going to receive. Now, it's very easy to say, you just brush it off. Yeah, it doesn't matter, whatever. However, a lot of the time, it does influence us and it does impact us because it then turns into repetition. Every time you see these people, they say the same sort of things. How do you deal with these external factors whilst you are learning how to trade? There's a few different things you can do. Now, the first one is really simple. I'm going to tell you a secret, it's very easy to implement. The first one is simply to realize that some people are assholes. That's it. That's how they're going to react. That's the way that they are. Now, if they are assholes and that's how they react, if you are able to, remove yourself from them. If they're your friends and they're reacting like that, are they really your friends? Do they really have your best interest at heart? So going back to my two friends, when I was learning how to trade, I don't really speak to them anymore. Yeah, it is just what it is. I started to realize that they weren't helping me, they weren't encouraging me, so what is the point, really, of the friendship? Now, what you also have to realize is a lot of the time, when people are saying things like this, it's for a slightly different reason. And you think to yourself, what the hell just happened? But by then it's too late and you've done untold damage to your trading account. Now, once that happens, you think to yourself, okay, I let myself down there, I'm a bit of a loser, I'm a bit of an idiot, but I promise I'm not going to do it again. I'm going to be disciplined. And then a few weeks pass, maybe a month, and everything is going pretty well. But then one day, it all falls apart again. The emotions come back. You make those mistakes. You do huge damage to your trading account. You wipe out all of the profits you made and maybe even more. It's kind of like a vicious cycle. When this is going on, when you're trading emotionally, you're using the wrong part of the brain. You're using the part which houses the emotional responses, the limbic system. The thing is, your broker understands this. So it's no accident that when you log on to your charts, they are very colorful. And there's
okay, it can only happen of two very important reasons. We have seen that at the last weekend about the attack of Iran to Israel, what was estimated, forecasted, that's a very big trick of the Wall Street, especially, and so I'm not politically, but if you are trading the markets, I want to ask you something. If you are, for example, fighting against your enemy, right? Let's take the case you are a country and you are attacking the other country, which is your enemy, because they have been raping your brothers, sisters, whatever. How do you attack them? Are you telling them tomorrow at 12:30 I am coming with the red car and then I will attack you? Or are you planning your attack and then you attack your enemy so that your enemy has no information about that, gets surprised? So the question is why Iran told Israel, not secretly, but also publicly, on Twitter you can find all the news there, why has Iran told Israel, in the next 2 days we will attack you? Ask yourself this. Take some moments, think about these questions. Why have Iranian told them, you have attacked our embassy, in 2 days we will attack you? I mean, they don't tell them we attack you, they tell them in 2 days, they tell them the exact time horizon of what exactly happened, right? So in the night Saturday to Sunday it happened, exactly in 2 days. Why? Why did it publicly, that the world knows it? I tell you what, because all this game is manipulated, and that's this attack, you can name it politically, whatever, is a game of the Wall Street, of the big guys, and the big guys are also the government, especially also those countries who are producing oil, and they have their own brokers, which well, the client is not, for example, the government of Iran or the government of Israel or whatever. They have private person, they're paying them to open accounts with some brokers to trade the stocks, options, or whatever, and of course they are making dollars, right? They are making big amounts of dollars. People say that Elon Musk is the richest man of the world, or whatever. This French guy, the chief of LVHM, with 200 millions. That's a fucking bullshit. The Ayatollahs, and I know some Ayatollahs have accounts in Switzerland and other countries, and net worth value of those accounts are above $1.8 trillion. So Elon Musk is not even, you can name what it is, right? Elon Musk is nothing. This LVHM guy is nothing. Warren Buffett are against those guys, nothing. The Prince of Saudi Arabia, or the King of Saudi Arabia, has a net worth amount of over $1.3 trillion. So, I mean, who the fuck are they talking about? Whatever, how are these guys getting richer and richer? Have you ever asked yourself why the most important events news will be released always on the weekend, and the stock market is closed, right? We have the advantage that we trade Bitcoin 7 days a week, but Oanda, fuck Oanda, I hate Oanda, trading the crypto also from Monday to Friday. So that's also another reason I quitted Oanda. If you are with Oanda, go away from Oanda. That's a scam broker. That's a very scam broker. People who have been selling or buying Bitcoin, suddenly they had no possibility to trade Bitcoin during the weekend. What happened? People have been, for example, long here, let's say they have been long here and they have been right? And then suddenly on Friday afternoon, Friday evening, after the close bell, Oanda closed or stopped the trade of Bitcoin suddenly. Now we know that on Saturday the market fell deeper, right? And guess what happened? This guy who was bullish, for example, the market, now today he coming at his desk, he has been reading the news, whatever, he hopes that his profit target has been hit, and let's say his profit target wasn't hit. Now he says, oh shit, the market went through his stop, even he put the stop, and I was looking at the Oanda page for guaranteed stop. Guess what? On Friday, if you have been taking a trade here, the guaranteed stop, because if you put a guaranteed stop, it means the broker is guaranteed or giving you the guarantee whatever happens, your stop gets hit, right? And the stop, guarantee stop that guy was paying for were exactly at this point. Exactly at this point, at around 65,396. We are now at 65,900. So that means this guy, right? I don't know who this guy is, right? He's a hard-working, honest person, right? Trading very good. And then he buys, he pays the broker for that paid guaranteed stop. Have you ever asked yourself, and if he is going, for example, to adjust the stop, the broker tells him, no, it's not possible. You put the stop, you have paid for that. If you use manually stop, but we don't give you the money back, whatever. And that guy, for example, unclicks it, puts his stop here. What happens then? The market comes during the weekend here. It opens lower. All his position profit is away, and the market is far away, right? He was, for example, long here at 67,000 or I think whatever, and then the market went then to 70, 71,000, and now he has lost not only that profit potential, but also the market took him much more of his balance, initial balance, what he got. Okay, so be careful with which broker you are working, right? A lot of people do not really know the meaning of gap or the meaning of stop loss or the meaning of guaranteed stop. So it's, you really need, if you don't know that before taking action, to know what it is about. So, and that's guaranteed stop, guys, right? Not even because they say this is guaranteed, you should follow all the instructions they tell you, okay? This game is manipulated. So you need to be very, very, very aware, right? So if you see, okay, during the weekend you are a day trader, close your positions because these events are happening. The same with Trump, right? The same with the Iranian attacks, with Hamas. All those shit happened always during the weekend, right? And the Wall Street knows it. That's the game of the big guys, rich guys of the Wall Street. So keep